Anime. Did you know anime was a thing? Because I completely forgot until this weekend. I was too busy watching it become real life.
This is true. Anime is real life now.
Yeah, so I have decided that I'm just gonna watch VTubers now. This is just a VTuber podcast.
And I wouldn't be able to fault you because they're just so wholesome and amazing.
Yeah. Um, this is actually not a VTuber podcast, but holy shit, we've been watching a lot of that lately.
Holy shit, we got pulled in.
We
We
fell
got
down the
pulled in
Hollow
the
Live hole.
VTubers. The hollow ladies drew us into the sacred abyss that is VTubers.
Yep, we have been busy doing that all week, and that has been pretty cool.
It's
But
been it's been nice.
but all the stuff we watched this week was also pretty cool. So it was a nice
Yes,
break to be like, oh yes, there's more to life than streams and super chats.
exactly. There's also anime.
I am
As-
Alex,
And I am Ian.
and we are the
And
protagonist seat.
and we are the third thing on top of VTubers and anime that you need in your life.
Yes, we are the podcast, the super podcast.
Super podcast.
Super podcast time.
Super podcast time. I don't know where I was going with that.
That's
Hey,
fine.
this is the protagonist seat. Holy shit. We talk about
Holy
seasonal
fuck.
anime. Oh,
God damn.
holy God, hot balls. We did it. We did the intro.
Penis.
It will never not be a funny word.
Penis.
Let's start.
So not Tower. The God of High School
Tower of
is
God was pretty cool. I'll recommend watching that.
the God of High School, however, once again with this week, a lot of flash, little substance.
Yeah. The fight outside is over
Yep.
because the
So
good guys won.
the guy that Jin is fighting, his power is essentially the nine-tailed fox.
Because of course it is.
Yeah, and Jin awakens his power this episode because he's getting the shit kicked out of him, but they're still having fun fighting each other because they're both shonen heroes. So everything's going wrong for Jin, but then it looks like he's about to get destroyed, and then bam, we get a flash of him kind of holding a spear, or actually it looks more like looks like a staff. I'm calling it now. I think Sun Wukong is his stand.
No joke. That's what I guessed when I saw his like flashes of stand. I was like, "Yo, is that fucking Wukong?"
He kind of looks like a monkey too, and like all his movements and mannerisms. Not
Yeah,
his yeah, not his mannerisms, but like kind of the way he sits and everything. He's very monkey-like.
he is. And I think that would fit very nicely, except I don't really care if it fits nicely because I don't particularly care about this character. Also,
Yeah,
Wukong would be one of the most powerful dudes ever of all time.
it fits for having the protagonist have the most broken character that
Yeah,
Goku himself is based off of.
yeah.
I actually was thinking to him like, oh, it's Wukong. Like, of course it's Wukong. You got all the myths here. Who are you gonna make top dog? Wukong.
I was a little disappointed in myself that I didn't think that's what it would be sooner. I was like, "Oh, freaking course, dude. You're behind the goddamn eight ball."
Yeah, and they fight, and Jin wins, of course, by doing God Hand from the sky. And everyone watching in the audience is like, "Whoa, cool!" I'd be sitting there at home and be like, "Ma, ma, they made a God Hand come from the sky, ma."
They put all these clouds in the arena and then he kicked them into the clouds and then a god hand came out, ma.
Why am I
No,
going to school to be a lawyer, Ma? People got superpowers, Ma.
what am I doing? I should have. You should have never taken me out of jujitsu when I was 8.
Ma, I did karate. A dude who does karate's in the finals, Ma. Why'd you take me out of karate?
Karate. I
I
could have
got a
been that dude.
I got a white belt.
That dude, the karate dude, doesn't even really have a stand yet,
No.
which is kind of a weird thought that Han is the last of the protagonist group to fight people without a stand.
He'll be next. Actually, we have one episode left, so I don't even think we're gonna get to that.
Nope.
And yeah,
It's probably a dragon.
the tower. I keep saying Tower of God. The God of High School tournament is officially over.
Yeah, because they found the key. Because it's Ilpio. It's the other dude, not Jin.
Yeah, and the
Even
fight
though
kind of makes
Jin,
it. The fight looks really cool, and it makes it seem like, oh, these two characters have such a connection to each other, and I'm just like, I don't feel it.
we met that
An,
dude like 3 episodes ago.
We met him like 4, but we really didn't get to know him until like 3 ago.
And Jin didn't even know who that dude was until like 3 or 4 days ago.
Hey, your
So,
grandpa
like,
gave me a martial arts book.
oh,
And now
okay.
he calls him his big brother.
Yeah, because that's not weird.
It's like, hey, I know we barely know each other, and I only met you when you were a fucking baby, but you might as well just call me Nissan.
Yeah, I'm your big bro now, dude. Imagine going up to another person and being like, I'm your big bro now. The last time we met was when we were toddlers, but like, I'm your big bro now.
Look
That's
at me.
weird.
Look at me. I am the big bro now.
I am the big bro now. That's a good meme. I like that meme a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But
Yeah,
that's not the end of the episode.
nope,
There's another
because
thing.
remember, we were wondering what happened to the the fucking maestro dude.
Yeah, who got sharked real goddamn hard.
Yeah, so the cultists are kind of fucking with him while he's in intensive care, and I guess he busts out and goes on a rampage because he's unable to give up the fact that he lost super hard.
And his stand is like a demon. So he's like a demon now.
Yeah, and his maid goes looking for him, and as he's wandering the hallway, he goes and finds the shark dude.
And then they fight.
Yeah,
Kind of.
and he just keeps going, I didn't lose. I didn't lose. Do, re, mi, fa, so. And I'm like, come on, man. You're the fucking conductor.
That's not intimidating at all.
Your power is lame.
Your power is basically Julie Andrews from fucking The Sound of Music.
Yeah. And of course he starts getting shredded, but then he starts turning more and more demon-like. And then his maid tries to come and help him, and the shark guy's like, hey, this is my opportunity. And he stabs him and the maid looks like she's about to die.
And then she does, and
No,
then he eats
he
her.
eats her. Yeah, he eats her, but then he spits her out later, and she's fine and doesn't have the hole in her chest anymore, which is weird. But yeah, so he eats her, and then he becomes a giant big red demon, and he starts attacking the hospital.
And he just
yeah,
starts fighting other people.
and he starts, well, he's still fighting the shark guy, but then he starts just eating bystanders and like absorbing them into him. And what's his name? Ippo. Ipio. So Ipio's worried because his friends are unconscious in the room, and he's like, uh-oh, they're gonna get eaten by this guy, so I have to fight.
And they kind of almost do.
Yeah, but then the maid pops out and she tries to get her master to stop attacking, and he does for a moment, but then Shark Guy does the big shark crunch.
And just bites this poor motherfucker in half.
And so I'm pretty sure he is actually dead now.
Yeah, that dude is not coming. No amount of nano machines. Because unfortunately, as much as we want it to be, this is not a Metal Gear series. so no amount of nanomachines will fix that.
He is not regenerating from just the legs.
And EPO's friends are also injured. The
Yep,
blue-haired dude, who I'm pretty sure has a name, he loses an arm, and the girl whose biceps I admire, she loses a leg.
which is good because the biceps are fine.
I know, like, bro, her freaking biceps, dude. They're so good.
Yeah, if you're into strong girls, she's right there.
She's got
that strong girl aesthetic.
She could probably bench press me pretty easily.
Oh, definitely.
I am not a large person.
But yeah, and then after Ipio gets a flashback of the other friend of his that ended up being crippled because of Shark Guy, and he goes, "It's happening again. Why has everyone around me become crippled?"
Because of this one fucking shark dude.
And
It's literally because of this one guy.
The shark dude basically is set out on, for some reason, crippling everybody in this guy's life, either intentionally or unintentionally.
No matter how
He doesn't
hard I
kill
try,
anyone, he just cripples them.
I can't stop causing crippling injuries to your friends. I'm sorry. It's a reflex at this point.
Yeah, this time he didn't even really intend to. They just got caught in the crossfire with him fighting the demon dude.
Yeah, but EPO loses his shit, so now he's gonna mess him up.
He tackles him outside, and they start fighting. And then Jin Mori's probably gonna show up and beat the shit out of Shark Guy.
He's probably gonna show up and just beat the shit out of everybody.
Oh, and because shit keeps having to be cranked to 11, even though we don't really feel any investment towards anything, a giant gate in the sky opens and a bunch of angels come out to fight, and it's gonna be like the end of a Marvel movie where the sky gate opens and all the shit comes out.
Yeah. And I don't even know why. I do not know.
This is the Marvel movie of anime.
Yeah, and I was getting a little worn out with those by the end of their run.
Yeah.
There's one moment I liked that reminded me of the things that I liked about this show, but I can't remember what that is now. Because
the fight looked cool. Was that it?
Because no, it was something about like just watching people chill and hang out.
Oh, when they were sitting in the hospital.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of sitting in the hospital and they're all just kind of shooting the shit. And the blue-haired dude friend is like, "Hey, your abilities are super dope and I like them a lot." And I was like, at least someone is like acknowledging this. Someone in the world of God of High School acknowledges the fact that people don't just pull all this weird shit out just for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's fine, it's normal.
And I think Buff Girl is into Ipio because as soon as he gets the fox ears and stuff, she has a nosebleed.
It is the nosebleed pass out. So I would say that is a correct assumption.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's it.
That's it. It's the Marvel movie of anime. It's just whatever. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's spectacle over substance.
Exactly. If you're looking for something that's not like super brain heavy, that you can just kind of watch people fight and things explode, then turn it on. But like it doesn't feel like it's worth getting invested in any of the characters, even kind of the main characters.
Yeah.
But it's okay. What else we got? What's next on our list? We're moving at a pretty good pace.
Monster Girl Doctor.
This one is all character. And this week it's surgery time eventually.
Yeah, but that's like the last 5 minutes maybe.
Yes.
Essentially, we spend 20 minutes on girl friendships between Safi, Aranya, and Tessalia.
Yeah, and it's all right. It's all right watching everyone just kind of chill at the bar. Tessalia doesn't drink because I forget why.
I'm
I don't
gonna be
know. She's
honest.
a
I
horse.
mostly I mostly like brain tuned out this episode.
Uh, it was all right.
It was just
I
kind of,
did
it was like, hey, it's fine.
I did think it was ironic that at the bar it was a girl with no legs in between two girls with many legs. Because you got
Yeah.
the snake girl in between the spider girl and the horse girl.
Also, the horse girl does not drink,
And the horse girl does not drink.
which we were
But
still. I think we talked about before. Like, how much alcohol does it take to get a horse drunk?
I guess we'll never know.
That's probably why. It's probably expensive for a horse to go drinking.
Hell yeah, dude. Doesn't stop freaking giant spider girl though. She drinks all this uh gyoji, I think it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, she has like several glasses in her hands, like those little cups.
Spider girl can power drink. She can hold two glasses in on one side and two bottles on the other side.
Which is weird because you'd think they'd have good immunity to poison or something.
I mean, maybe that's why she drinks so much.
It's expensive, man.
It's expensive being a
You know,
monster person.
pre-game before you go in.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think the most I've ever spent on drinks was when I went down to Boston and I spent like
Tripping
probably
out to
30.
Boston. Oh.
Well, I spent probably like $36 on some drink and I got pretty toasty.
I don't think I really spend. I remember when I first started drinking, because you're at that age where it's more about like, oh, I'm at the bar. I want to get drinks because I'm at the bar with friends, and then you realize, huh, that was just $10 for a single shot. I could
Yeah,
buy a whole bottle for like 20 and have as many shots as I want,
as bottle permitting.
as bottle permitting. But
Yeah.
again, maybe if you want to go cheap, you can get like one of those like plastic bottles that are like super huge. Gets the
Oh,
job done.
yeah, but there's risk. There's risk in those big bottles, dude.
There's also
You don't
reward
want to
though. It's
fuck
risk v
around.
reward.
You don't want to fuck around with the big bottles. Um, but they chill at the bar, and they mention that Gyoji is involved in the anesthetic because you need special anesthetic for the special dragon. And then is the next day,
Yeah, well,
and
no, it's in the night, and Aranya tries to steal something that Safe gave to Glenn
oh yeah,
because it's just her prerogative, I guess, to test the people around her.
she's one of those people that don't actually exist who really feel like they need to test anyone who wants to be their friend by doing all this kind of weird bullshit. You know, normal stuff that everyone does periodically.
Yeah, so she ends
Hey,
up getting caught, and Safe's not even that mad. They just basically go, hey, you don't need to do that. Friends don't need to test their bonds.
hey, dude, normal people don't just steal from each other to make sure that they're friends. Mind blowing, I know.
And
And they
they,
also reveal
yeah,
that Spider Girl loves Glenn.
yeah, because
Who'd
they
have
basically
thunk it?
ask, yeah, of course, because he's the only, he's the only guy in this show
He is. He
besides
is
like a few
100.
background characters, like
He is
the
the.
Cyclops man.
Oh, yeah. Him and Cyclops Man are the only guys in this show that really get dialogue.
Oh, an old harpy chieftain.
So, like, it's Glenn and several old men.
Yeah, old men who
That's
are
it.
out of the running.
It's very safe for the main character.
Well, I guess it's called Monster Girl Doctor and not just Monster Person Doctor
That's true.
or just Monster Doctor.
Monster Doctor.
But that makes it seem like he's the monster.
I mean, at the end of the day, aren't humans the real monsters?
Maybe the true monsters.
We're the friends we made along the way. And then
In
you
this show,
vote,
yes, that's it.
and then you vote someone off the island because they're an imposter.
The
Among Us is popular, so I'll make a reference to it on my podcast.
Yes, I'm sure many people will watch through the entire thing for this one part.
Everyone gives a shit.
The yeah, so they end up they all become besties, best pals with each other, even though it's really unrealistic because they're all pining after the same person.
Yes, the same extremely oblivious man
I
who
always
just
found that
wants to
so
be a
weird.
he just wants to be a fucking doctor. Like, let the man docked.
I've always found that so weird in harems where all the girls in the harem become friends, and I'm like, that's not how that would work. That's a
Yeah,
that's that's some serious competition right there, especially when you both know that Safi has the best chance. It's not even close for the other two.
childhood friend always has the best chance.
And it's like, hey, I've loved this guy my entire life. Let me become best friends with these two people that are also trying to take him.
Man, fuck it, why not? She knows she's gonna win.
I don't know, she seems insecure about that sometimes.
You know what? That is fair. Is it
Oh, and
surgery time yet?
Glenn convinces Scotty to do the surgery.
Oh yeah,
Also,
I
she's
like this
really
scene.
small, so she's up in the bell tower trying to look out over the city. So she has her pick him up, or she has him pick her up so she can look out. And he basically just kind of he does the princess carry.
Yeah, which I think is like the safest one
Yeah,
because
I
you
thought
want
he
to
was
you
gonna
want to.
like put her up on his shoulders.
I I was a little wondering if that's how that was gonna play out too. Or just like pick her up under the armpits and have a conversation that way. Just a full arm's length away. So like you should probably try to live better.
Yeah, but they have a conversation. He basically says, "Hey, I know you think it's time to die, but all these people are working really hard to try to make sure you survive, so I don't think it's your time." And she says
And
to him, "Do you think it's really okay if I live a little bit longer?" And he's
he's like,
like,
"Yeah,
"Yeah, dude."
dude. Of course. I'm a doctor. I docked. It's what I do."
Yep. So she agrees to the surgery, and then that's the next part. They do the surgery.
Oh, and they're like going over things that she should do while she lives. And like the
Oh yeah,
last thing on the list, naturally, because of course,
is
is
hey, maybe try to find
romance.
some romance. And then she looks at him for a second and goes, I'll think about that. And of course, she's going to be part of it. He can't have the full rounded monster girl harem without the dragon girl.
Of course. Hey,
Yeah.
Dragon Girl, you know what's good in life? Getting some of that hot D. You gotta
Oh, Glenn.
freaking, you gotta freaking tame some of that freaking Dr. D.
And then we cram the surgery into the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it goes by really quick.
Yeah, basically, her body as a defense mechanism starts really heating up because she's a fire dragon, so they have to work quickly. And Dr. Cthulhu ends up burning through a lot of her tentacles, trying to just keep her chest pried open so Glenn can do the incisions.
Yeah, because she's going thermonuclear and she could blow up at any second because of the flammable gases that make fire dragons able to spew fire.
Yep, but they successfully do it, and then she's fine now. Hooray!
Yeah, we did it, guys. We did the surgery.
We did it! We did it! We did it! Hooray!
I like Scotty's design.
Yeah, she's really
I
cute.
I think her character design is both adorable and cool. She's visually interesting to look at.
She really is.
It's
It's a shame
like
she's stuck in like a monster girl harem show.
yeah, I feel that way about a couple of these characters cuz I really like Safi's design as well. I think her outfit is there's a surprising amount of thought put into the design of her outfit, but she's in the Monster Girl show.
Yeah, certain characters look like they belong here, like Tessalia or Meme.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, this should be here.
The mermaid girl who they throw in at one point just to remind you, hey, she's also here, which I thought was kind of funny, to be totally honest. Her design is like, it's cool. It's like that middle ground. Cause it's cool, but it also kind of belongs here. And then
Yeah.
there's this big titty spider girl who
Oh yeah, she definitely
definitely,
belongs. Yeah.
yeah, she 100% belongs here. And I don't like it.
Harpy girl. Go.
I don't I don't like the spider, man. I don't like it. It's
Also,
just,
apparently her accent is not actually her accent.
oh yeah, she puts it on as a
Yeah.
defense mechanism.
Because I noticed she did have an accent before, but I guess it's not actually her accent.
Yeah,
I think it's supposed to be like a Kansai accent, which is kind of like the Japanese countryside accent.
makes sense. Kind of like Juggernaut in Fire Force, but only
Yeah.
when he goes home.
The but yeah, it was fine. I hope we have one episode left, so I wonder what it's
Let's
gonna be. We
Yeah,
still
let's
haven't
see what's in store.
added the the octopus sensei to the harem yet.
She's kind of there.
Actually,
There are
you know what we haven't had in a while? We haven't had some real lewd in a long time.
That's true.
Getting
That's very
starved for
true. Unless uh dragon surgery counts.
it. It doesn't.
You can tell there was like an effort at one point cuz like the way her legs are in the surgery parts and some of the shots, it's very clear that it's just they posed her that way so you would look at her butt while they do surgery. But
Yeah,
even then it's like they're doing fucking open heart surgery, dude. I'm focused on the surgery.
yeah. It's just it doesn't fit in as well as some of the other stuff.
No. I don't
But
think
that's all I have
anything.
on that.
Yeah, I don't think anything with the dragon really has, but that's fine cuz she looks cool.
You got one
What
more
else?
episode. We better go with a banger.
You'd better choose your choice of words more carefully, friend.
I picked my words exactly how I intended.
What do
We
we
better have
got
the
next?
lewdest episode yet.
You know what? I hope so. I didn't think I would get to this point watching this show, but I really kind of hope so. What do we got
Next,
next?
the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Um, so I think I was right. I think I won. Kind of.
Yes.
I won a percentage.
There's so
It's just it's a big mess. Actually, I
yeah,
think you also won. We both won
we both we
because
both kind of
I
won.
thought Canon was Lay and you thought Canon was Avos Dilhalia. So
Yeah, and the
he's
answer is
is
yes.
both.
The answer is just yes. But we'll get to that. We've got a little bit to work through before we get to whatever the fuck that was.
I'll
Whatever
admit
choices led to that.
the pacing in this episode was probably the worst. It it's bad in this episode.
This yeah, this it's not great. It's a little oofs.
Yeah, because it starts out we're still at the tournament. He goes and talks to Magic Bubble Girl, and she kind of gives the
Turns
lore
out,
dump on the. Turns out, of course, the previous hero, the one who's like, I hate demons. I'm racist against demons. Of course, he was the one that killed Cannon, which we expected.
yeah. And then he used his source to infect like this certain specific type of magic So humans just infect each other with his hatred of demons.
Yeah, and then there's a spell that basically makes them all go into hate demons mode. And she's like, I can cancel that out. And she was also used to only create the girl who doesn't speak with the sword, like
Yeah,
copies of that.
she clones Blow Up Girl to be their anti-demon subjugation force.
Yeah, and she wants Anos to kill her because it'll end basically all the spells problems that they have to deal with, but it also she doesn't believe she should live on because of all the girls that she's made suffer.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
But then they're all like, please save our mom.
And Anos is like, I can do that because I am Anos and I can do anything.
But then Diego, the guy that he killed, shows back up, and she mentions, oh yeah, he'll just keep regenerating because he also has like he'll keep regenerating as long as I'm alive. And then Avos Dilhalia shows up with the other demon
Three,
lords.
yeah. There was I had actually forgotten about that whole thing for a little bit because like when they first showed up, I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Reinforcements from the demon capital." And then I was like, "Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and they
He's
show
the
up and
bad
yeah.
guy."
And again, everything starts happening really fast because this is in the middle. Diego just showed up, and then a millisecond later, he shows up, steals the holy sword, and then I'm not even like paraphrasing here, just how fast the sequences are. Then after Anos tries to fight him, but he teleports away with the demon lords. And then after it cuts, like smash cuts to Diego giving a speech to the humans on how it's time for war and that the demons have stolen the sword or something. And then the
And then
demons giving a speech to the demon people about how it's time for the humans to be exterminated or something. And just Anos is in the group are now back in the demon world. We didn't cut to them leaving the human world. It's just, oh, now we're back here.
who knows what the other students were doing?
Yeah, everyone just stopped, I guess. Tournament over. Let's all go home. It was real bad. It was just bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't good pacing. It was just all this stuff's happening and here we are.
And here, fast forward and stop.
It's like we skipped it's like we skipped 3 days of just what's going on in the world to like here.
Yeah.
And Anos is now meeting with all of his subordinates, the ones that aren't brainwashed, and then Misha and Sasha and all of his friends show up, and they all decide they are going to stop the war from happening by essentially just slowing down both sides.
Yeah. Anos gives the order, do not die, but do not kill. And I was like, only you guys could follow through with that. And they do.
Oh, and
Sasha and
Lay and I
oh
forget her
yeah.
name, but like half spirit girl have like a scene where he essentially proposes to her.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm just going to take the other half of this proposal necklace. And she's like, but you know, that means you're proposing, right? And he's like, yeah.
He's like, "Don't worry, I'll come back." Says people that don't come back.
Says people that don't come back.
But yeah, so then the big
Everyone
battle happens.
does their battles.
Yeah. So Lay and her end up fighting off a bunch of guys together, and they have a neat sort of combat style where she makes a bunch of mist, and he just kind of dips in and out of the mist and just starts taking out the demon soldiers.
The fan club does basically the same thing. And Sasha and Misha just blow the shit out of dudes because they're
Yeah.
super powerful.
And Anos goes along with Milhace and his other subordinates to go take on the demon commanders. And they're like, "Hey, we'll handle the small fry. You go and take on the demon lord himself."
This is how this sequence goes. You go on ahead. We'll take care of the demon generals themselves.
Next scene, we've taken care of the demon generals.
Hey, guys, the door to the palace is open. He's not here. That's it. That's how that sequence goes.
It's
That is
so
exactly how that sequence goes.
it nothing nothing really transitions in this. It's just like the next thing.
And then the next thing happens, and then the next thing happens, and then the next thing happens.
And they're at the door, and he gets word that from Spirit Girl that Lay went missing and she doesn't know where he is, and he's like, I think I know where he is. And then
at that point, I, sitting on my couch, audibly went, fuck, no way. Because I knew exactly what was coming next.
yep, so then he teleports to this area and he kind of walls it off, so they're just at this crossroads in between. And he goes, Yo, it's been a long time, Canon. Or should I say, Lay.
And
And
then
he takes off
Lay,
the helmet and it's
yeah,
Lay Cannon.
So Lay was canon, but was also
Yeah.
Avos still heavier.
Because I guessed that he was canon. Ian guessed that he was Avos. So we're both right.
We're all right. We did it.
The kids are all right.
The kids are all right. So dance, fucker, dance like you haven't got a chance.
Because no one even knew it was really only you.
And you give it away.
So dance, fucker, dance. You never had a chance, and no one even knew it was really
only you.
Hit him
Guys,
right between the eyes. Hit him right between the eyes.
Guys, do you like The Offspring as much as we do?
Dude, dude, it's totally 2007 again.
It's what everyone
that,
wants.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't.
Chances thrown, nothing's free, fragile lives, shattered dreams. I don't hate The Offspring. I just feel like they're a time period band where if I listen to them, I'm like, this is going back.
Fuck. Like, I just Googled The Offspring on my phone. They are a time capsule. They were formed in 1984 under the name Manic Subsidal.
Huh.
Holy shit.
But that has
yeah.
nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, because You're Gonna Go Far Kid came out in 2008.
All right, I was really close then.
You were very close. Kudos.
Yeah, I was one off. I was good. But yeah, so he asks him, it's like a scene after the credits why he's doing this, and he essentially says, You were right. Humans are a mistake. I don't know if maybe he's mad that he got killed by a human, so he's like pissed.
I mean, I'd be pretty salty if like I was humanity's #1 best boy, and then some fucking dude who wanted to
some fucking geezer that was just angry and racist
just stab me in the goddamn back. After spending my entire life suffering for humanity, fighting the demon lord, to have this one asshole be like, no, and kill me, I'd be pretty pissed too.
I also now wonder, how did he do all of this? He's got the worst. He's not good at magic. He's just a sword guy.
I don't know.
Also, he must have been busy.
Hell yeah. That's a non-stop job.
He was in the tournament where he was fighting people from the school and somehow found the time to go switch into his Avos costume, get the other demon lords to show up, steal the thing, leave, and then also come back to the group to go back home. Maybe that's why I skipped through that. That would have been weird to explain.
That is a very interesting point. Maybe he just wears it under his normal clothes. Like his evil clothes are under his regular uniform. That's what I would do. I don't know, man. Not a great showing this week.
Yeah, this was the weakest episode by far.
It's a little
It was
disappointing.
just because it was too all over the place.
Oh yeah, definitely. They were definitely trying to like, oh fuck, we gotta wrap this up.
I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being like a anime original ending or something. Because this feels like we're heading towards an anime original ending.
I could see that. They're confronting each other in the field of battle. I do enjoy watching them fight, so like hopefully that part is at least cool.
Them fighting is okay. It's just a lot of like everything around them is getting destroyed while Anos just kind of holds up his hand blocking a sword.
Yeah, I
But
like
we'll
watching
see.
things blow up. Yeah, exactly. We'll see next week. What's next?
Rent a girlfriend.
See, like I'm not hating this show anymore.
Yeah, the new girl was actually pretty. She was pretty neat.
She's all right.
She's super
She's
shy,
she is ultra shy beyond all measure.
and you know what? It's kind of adorable.
It is.
They knew what they were doing with that.
They got this one right, guys.
Yeah.
Who knows where his actual girlfriend is? Because this episode featured every girl except that
Ruka.
one.
Ruka.
Ruka. Yes.
Yeah, so he ends up going on his date with her, and she is just ultra shy.
Like next level
Like does not
shy.
speak.
She is literally nonverbal, which, you
He
know what?
Yeah.
I can understand why some people might complain about that.
Yeah. And because I was thinking, oh man, why are people being so mean to her in the reviews? And it's like, oh no, she just really shouldn't be doing this job.
It's not, and that seems to be basically everyone's consensus. This is not for this girl,
Yeah.
but
And
she's in it to get better at talking to strangers. She's trying to
yeah.
improve herself.
And so he keeps thinking back every time he wants to quit to Chizuru saying, I know you're not, you're the type, I know you're the type of person that can be trusted with this. And he's like, I gotta stick with it.
I gotta do this for the Chizuru.
But he actually does end up kind of finding out that the reason she wants to do it, that she wants to, better herself with talking to people. And then there's one part where they're at a bowling alley and he ends up seeing a couple of guys, the generic ruffians, chatting her up. And one guy basically just tries to look under her skirt out in the open.
Yeah, which is mad creepy.
Yeah. And he comes over and is like, hey, sue me. Yeah, sorry I took so long. There was a really big line in the bathroom. Anyway, we gotta go.
And then he yeets out of there.
Yeah. I noticed everyone in this show just because any of the bystanders, anytime he's with one of the girls, all of the characters in the background are always dudes like, man, I wonder if he's fucked her yet. Which is, it's a
Yeah.
completely normal thing you just say in public when you see a couple walk by.
Hey, that girl's hot. I wonder if they do it. I wonder if they get super dirty.
Normal people don't do that.
No. If anyone in public was ever like, hey, do you think they slam real hard? I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay?
Like, dude, what the fuck?
You need professional help. I don't want to be around you anymore. I think I got to call this one off. I got to pull the plug. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, no, everyone in the background audience is creepy.
I
Yeah,
don't know why.
so at one point, Mommy sees him and she ends up following them. And then I realized, you know what? Kazuya and Mommy would make a good couple. Both of them are stalkers.
Yeah.
Both of them do that stupid shit. But yeah, so she follows him, and at one point he goes to the bathroom and he comes back and he sees Sumi is sitting with her. And he's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck she's doing here? She's gonna think I'm two-timing on Chizuru."
I can't
Which
have
she
her thinking
actually
I'm
does at
two-timing.
first.
But also can't reveal that she's just a rental girlfriend. Otherwise, that'll be bad too.
Yeah, so he ends up sitting down trying to like explain the situation. She's like, "Oh, what are you guys? What is your relationship to each other?" And then Sumi, which I thought was a really cute scene, grabs his arm and just kind of like nods and up and down.
Sumi doubles down
Yeah, on the
harder
like
than
pretending to be his girlfriend. He's like, "Oh, he's like, I
anyone.
really," in his mind he says, "I really appreciate that, but that's totally the wrong move right now."
He does actually have a line I really enjoyed where he's like, her girlfriend's supply is really outmatching my demand right now. And you know what? That's good shit.
Yeah. But she asks if they could talk in private for a moment, and she just basically says, "Wow, you're like a completely different person now. All these
You're a
women going
real
after you."
you're a real lady killer there, Kazuya.
And in his mind, he says, I just have to take this on the chin because I can come up with no response to it. He just keeps going, yeah, I guess, I don't know.
Ha ha.
And she
Yeah.
basically says, well, I won't say anything to Chizuru because, I'm your ex-girlfriend, so that would be shitty, but good luck. And he just feels like a piece of shit after.
You know what? Good for him. He feels like garbage.
Yeah.
I can
Although this
back
time he's
that.
not even this time he's not even really doing anything. He's just helping out.
That's true. The one time he's actually just trying to help someone, he gets in trouble with it.
Yeah. But it's because he's built a bridge of lies and he's
He is,
already wandered all the way across it.
and now he realized he left his wallet on the other side, so he needs to go all the way back.
Yeah. And we see she's home later, just kind of upset, kind of wondering what people see in him. And she looks up Sumi because he told her real name because Chizuru goes by a fake one.
Right.
And she looks up and she sees her profile on the dating website, and very much to be expected, of course, she finds Chizuru. And at the end of the episode, Chizuru gets rented out to go on a date. And of course, I knew at that moment, I'm like, oh,
Yup.
it's gonna be her.
It's gonna be
And
mommy.
yep, and she turns around, she hears, "Oh, wow, 5 minutes early. You really are a professional." Bum
Bam,
bum.
bam, bam.
So yeah, that's gonna end up being a conversation of next week.
I am
But I'm
looking
glad that's
forward to
finally
it.
happening. Imagine the show, but every character knows about the rental part, so it's not really an issue.
Yeah. That's kind of the way everything is going.
Yeah, because already Bucky knows, Ruka knows, Sumi I guess knows, but she's not really relevant right now.
Do you know who doesn't know? Black-haired best friend. I
Yeah,
think literally
I
the
think his name's
only
Kibe or
person.
something.
Yeah,
He's
I
the
think,
only one that doesn't know.
and it's because if he finds out, he'll tell. Kazuya's
Hell, I
worried
think
he'll tell his grandma.
I think the grandma knows.
Oh, I would almost guarantee that fucking grandma knows at this point. That is, that's a very interesting realization to have. I feel bad for him now. It's like everyone has built this web of lies around this one person.
It's like a whole intricate net of secrets, and he's the only one not in it.
He slipped right through the cracks, and now he's just floating in the ocean of ignorance.
Poor guy.
Whatever. He had a
Um,
weird line about like he was telling Kazuya
yeah,
about some,
I give you permission to bang your girlfriend.
yeah, and he was like, "Thanks," which
Yeah,
can't be doing that anyway because she's not his girlfriend. Could have had Ruka.
coulda.
She's just perfectly fine. But whatever. What do I know?
Yeah.
What's left?
Last up is Fire Force.
Power Force.
Holy shit! This was the creme de la creme episode.
We get
I think this was my
some.
favorite Fire Force episode.
We get some sick fights.
Maybe second favorite, because I really like the Lieutenant versus Arrow.
Yeah. And that is also a fight that took place in the Nether, much like this one does.
Anything in the Nether is cool.
The Nether is sick as hell. They storm the place.
Yeah, so apparently Benimaru got poisoned with a blow dart like we thought last week, but he gets back up almost instantly, and
It
the
just
monk who
doesn't affect
poisoned
him.
him, the monk who poisoned him freaks out and is like, that's enough to kill like several wild beasts.
And he's just like, okay.
And Joker even asks him, he's like, well, what the hell are you made out of? Like,
And
beats me. How
Benimaru,
should I know about what doesn't affect me?
yeah, it's great. Benimaru's reaction is amazing.
And they beat the shit out of all the monks, and they start falling out of the sky, and it's raining man, or let the bodies hit the floor, whatever your preference.
Let the monks hit the floor. Let the monks hit the floor.
But yeah, so they kick the crap out of all these guys. They bust into the church, and Benimaru's like, none of them are here. And Joker tells him they're in the Nether. And he says, well, the church hates the Nether. It's like, they only say that because they don't want you to go there. Truth is, they love the Nether.
And they do.
And he starts trying to grill him, or Benimaru starts trying to grill Joker about exactly who he is and what connection he has to the church. And he tells him, I used to be a member here. And he goes, wait. He's like, what, you want to ask me more questions? Does that mean you cut your hair like those guys? And it's just an image of Joker with the monk hairstyle.
It's pretty good. But he's like, nah, I functioned in the shadows because I'm a dark hero.
And so they end up going deeper into the Nether, and the shadow operatives show up. And
Turns
they look
out
like fucking clowns.
They do.
Yeah, they look like fucking clowns. They all show up, and they're like, who are you, trespassers? And he goes, does the name 52 mean anything to you?
52. I love that shit.
Yeah. Then we get his backstory, and it turns out he was an orphan that grew up in this place, trained to be one of these clown-looking dudes.
And turns out on the same night that Sho was abducted, and Shinra and Sho's mother was infernalized, Joker took that opportunity to just yeet.
Yeah. He just left.
He just left.
Yep. So when he was a kid growing up here, he was a lot better than everyone else, but the commander guy here beat the shit out of him for thinking he was special.
And did some uncomfortable kid diddling.
But yeah, basically he abused him in every sense that you can abuse someone.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, so of course Joker took off the second he could, and for a while he found some family that took him in and was just trying to live a regular life. But of course, these people went in and killed all those people, basically not allowing him to enjoy any normal life.
Joker has left the collective, so he is sentenced to be alone forever.
Yeah. Which really sucks because, anytime he would have any opportunity of things being normal, they would rush in and sabotage it. So basically, he would have to live on the outskirts of society forever.
So congratulations, the church. You have built your own worst nightmare.
Yeah, imagine if they just left him be.
Yeah, he probably just would have lived with that family and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But nope. They pushed him into the shadows and he went a little crazy. And
he really is like an anti-hero superhero character.
Yeah, he's
great.
He's the best. Him and Benimaru are the A team, dude.
They are becoming some of my favorite characters. Well, Joker is my favorite character at this point.
Yeah, Joker is amazing, and Benimaru plus Joker is like, their chemistry is so good together. Oh, you love it.
Yeah, so they end up fighting, and he fights the commander dude, of course, the guy who basically made his life hell. And he goes, hey, I'll take the commander, you take all the other ones. And Benimaru's like, we're not going to split them 50-50.
And Joker's just like, well, all these dudes in their own right are pretty tough. And Benimaru's like, all right, the arm comes out of the sleeve. It's time to brawl.
Yeah, and just some really cool fight scenes going on this week where Benimaru just kicks the shit out of a bunch of them, and they all start getting back up, and he's like, well, it's clear you guys don't value your own lives as much as you do your opponents.
I like the way Benimaru fights, because Benimaru fights pretty savagely. There's one part where he just like snaps a dude's arm right at the elbow.
I like how he just basically does martial arts.
Yeah, he's a super good martial arts man. There was probably more cool martial arts in this episode than there was
God of High School. Yeah,
exactly. But
I love
Benimaru,
that part where he breaks the dude's arm and he's like, ugh. He's like, don't cry to me about a broken arm.
yeah, you're trying to kill me. Don't whine to me about it. Man, Benimaru's such a cool dude. I love him.
And then Joker fights the commander who has the chain sword, basically the sword that Poison has in Soul Calibur.
Yes. And he can make flames go on it. And the fight seems pretty one-sided for a while, actually.
Yeah.
It seems like the commander is just kicking the shit out of Joker.
Because Joker tells him that he'll kill him when because he has a deck of 52 cards, and the commander will die when he uses his last card.
Yes. And I had a theory about what he was doing, which turned out to be true. But basically, they fight, and it's pretty one-sided. Joker gets the shit kicked out of him, and he's down to his last couple cards. And the commander gets him on the ground. Oh no! And then shit gets a little weird.
Yep, because it turns out he basically had a smoke going of like a psychedelic.
He had LSD cigarettes he's been smoking, and he filled the arena with it, making everyone go all Gucci.
Yeah, it affects everyone, I guess, but Benimaru.
Because Benimaru isn't affected by poisons.
Yep.
And he actually says that too. He's like, I didn't feel bad about using it because my +1 over there isn't affected by poisons.
Yep, so he basically has a weird, trippy psychedelic sequence where the commander starts seeing Jokers everywhere and they're all getting big and colorful.
And Joker starts singing that song, The Joker. You know, I'm a smoker. I don't remember the lyrics. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker, or something like that. And I didn't actually expect him to do that.
And he cut off with one of his cards. He cuts off the commander's arm, like his sword arm, and he goes like, "Hey, you guys mentioned you were a collective. That anytime you come apart, you come back together. Just put yourself back together."
Because it turns out that he doesn't have a deck of 52 cards. He's got a deck of 53.
And he kills the commander by chopping him up into a bunch of little pieces with his last card.
It's the Joker card.
Yep. But he's like, yeah, I didn't want to use my trump card yet, though, because I was saving it for you. And then Burns shows up, the commander of the first. And I'm like, yo, we're going to have Burns fight Benimaru and Joker. That's going to be hype.
It's sick as shit. That's going to be a cool fight. I'm excited.
Because we get to find out the history between two eye patch dudes. I'm assuming they were in the same thing.
Yeah. I'm taking a guess that they both got their powers similarly, and that's why each one has a different eye missing. Because or that's all jacked up. Because with Joker, it's his left, I think, and with Captain Burns, it's his right.
So they have opposite eyes burned out.
Yeah. And you know they're connected because it's in the OP, but like now we're gonna find out why. So I'm excited.
So real awesome episode. Fire Force is a show that has just been inclining nonstop.
Exactly. It stumbled. I would say it stumbled a little bit with the Karen fight because it just dragged on a little bit too long.
I feel like a lot of people because Fire Force season 1, especially the early half, was not that great. So I feel like a lot of people just were turned off. But honestly, if you stuck with it, it gets really good.
The reward for keeping with it is it's well worth it. The show also, the thing I noticed with, like, especially this episode in particular, is the cinematography of it and the way all of the shots are handled and the art style is so unique and visually interesting.
I
It
think
really
just David
feels like,
Productions is a good studio.
yeah, they're putting, it feels like they're putting a lot more effort into the way everything looks, because it
Yeah.
looks great.
Because this is done by David Productions, who is the same studio that does the JoJo adaptations.
And those are always cool as hell.
Yeah, so they're just good at making things visually interesting to look at.
And
I also think that it helps that the original mangaka, the same artist as like the Solier one, just has a very unique and interesting style to look at.
he does.
Because the way Joker looks is almost like a cartoon character. He doesn't even look like an anime character sometimes, because he's just got so many jagged edges to him.
Yeah, he's all jagged edges, and I'd swear I think his outline is a little bit thicker than everyone else's, which would make
Yeah,
sense because he's the dark hero, and everything about him is great.
awesome
And it's just,
character, awesome show.
the show is great, and we cannot recommend it enough. Watch it.
Honestly, it might be contender for anime of the season, even though it's still probably got more to go.
Yeah,
Just
because
because the latest Demon Lord one was
yeah, it's got a lot of ground to pull up to get back up there next week. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
yeah, we'll see what happens. We are coming to the end, so stick around. If you are not subscribed to this channel, think about subscribing to us on YouTube, because that's where all of our videos are posted first.
Yep.
And we will be soon entering the point of doing our seasonal awards.
Yes, every season we pick a series of categories and we dole out awards to various characters, shows, etc., based on those categories.
And it's
Such
always a good
as,
time.
yes, it is. We make lots of jokes. We talk about the things we liked. We talk about the things we necessarily did not like. And it's just a good time is had by all. So stay tuned for that. That's coming in a couple weeks. Make sure, if you don't want to listen to us on YouTube for whatever reason, episodes go up every Friday on streaming services. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Google, Deezer, if you're across the pond, and iHeartRadio. And subscribe, leave reviews on those as well. Those help us out a lot.
Yes, and if you want to know when we update, you can follow us on social media, Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist Seat.
Trying to keep it easy for you so you can find us everywhere. Look at our extensive backlog of stuff. All of that is on YouTube, and we do have a pretty decent backlog up on our podcast sites as well. So that's pretty cool. There's plenty to listen to.
But yeah, so subscribe on YouTube, even if you don't listen on YouTube, because we are trying to get to 50 subscribers by October, so we can do sort of a fun Halloween another watch party of the anime series called Another.
So by the time this goes up, you will have about just under 1 week to get that. Spread the word.
I don't think we're gonna hit it, but hey, if you help us do that, that's gonna be pretty cool.
It will give us an incentive to keep in our pocket for the future. If you're looking for a cost-free way of supporting your favorite anime podcast, word of mouth. Spread us around like butter, but on other people's podcast toast.
Yeah, spread us around like butter on their bread.
Butter their bread with our podcast.
Butter their bread.
And I think that's just about everything.
Yeah,
thanks for sticking around. Hope to see y'all again next week. Bye-bye.
That was our shotgun outro. Goodbye.
It was. I think we did a pretty good one this week.